What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a new show that we're going to do hopefully weekly. It's a little fun show. One of the things that is really fascinating about NFL in particular and just NFL gambling is the line movement within the NFL gambling world. It's kind of like the game within the game. So before I get into that again, I'm Kayvon Ezami. You can follow me on Twitter at Kayvon_sports. This is the Fighting Chance Fantasy YouTube page. So if you're tuning in, give us a like, subscribe, comment your favorite line of the week. I want to know what games you guys are betting on. And I want to know what games you guys are excited about and looking forward to bet. So the whole point of this show is to break down the line movement that we are seeing within the NFL early part of the week as we head into week 4, right? So lines come out on Monday, or I mean, really lines have been out, but they really get finalized to start the week Sunday to Monday. Now, obviously, the books are always changing lines based off of information that they're receiving, injury updates, which way games are being played. Is a heavy bettor coming in and betting a lot of money that's moving the lines? There's a lot of things that come into how these lines get moved by the book. So lines are never finalized until Sunday, which is why I always preach. Do your information, do your research, but try and get your bets in before Sunday. Because I promise you, there are no sharper lines than NFL lines. And there are no sharper lines than NFL lines on Sunday. Because by Sunday, they've had all week to gather all the information that they need. And they, as it is the books I'm talking about here, they've had all week to gather their information, to find out about the injury reports, to find out about things that average Joes like you and I don't know. And by Sunday, they know everything. They know everything. That line is the sharpest line it's going to get. So you still can win by betting on Sunday, but you have way higher odds to win big and win long term if you're getting your bets in before Sunday as the lines continue to move. So the whole point of this show is we're not going to go through every single game, but we're going to break down the movement of these lines. We're going to tell you where's the money coming in. There's a different percentage of bets and money. And what that means is a lot of bets might be coming in on one team, but is the big money coming in on that team? See, you have to understand, there's thousands and millions of people out there that bet on these games, right? There's a lot of average people that bet $10, $15, $20, $30, just that, which is a lot to some people, and that's great. And sometimes it's just fun money to some people, right? So the books aren't as interested in those bets. What we're looking for here is the money. Where is the big money going? Where are the sharps going? Because that can tell you how the line is moving. So let's say that for the Bengals Dolphins this week, Cincinnati -4. That line opened at Cincinnati -3. It is now moved to Cincinnati -4. What does that tell you? That tells us that the sharps are all over Cincinnati in this game. Because if the line is going up in Cincinnati's favor, that means that people are betting on Cincinnati enough to move that line up a full point. All right, that's a big deal in the NFL to get that line moved a full point. So that is telling us right away that majority of the money is coming in on Cincinnati. And I can tell you right now exactly how much is coming in. So, like I said, it started out at Cincinnati -3. Now it's moved up to Cincinnati -4, and it's juiced. And what that means is it's not Cincinnati -4 at +100 or -105. It's Cincinnati -4 at -114, which is telling me that this could even go up to -4.5 by kickoff. So this is why I say get your bets in now. If you like Cincinnati, which I do in this game, think about why Cincinnati's favored. Okay. The Dolphins are undefeated. You would think they should be favored, right? No. Their defense was just on the field for 90 snaps it was or something like that. And they played on Sunday. Now, after all that humidity, after all that exhaustion, after being on the field that long against a massive game against the Bills, a divisional game, they're going to turn around and play on Thursday. That, I promise you, is baked into the lines. And that is why the Bengals are favored. And that is why the bettors are betting on the Bengals. So 50% of the bets are coming in on the Dolphins. So that means that the bettors are split, actually. 50% of the bets are coming in on the Dolphins. 50% of the bets are coming in on the Bengals. But here's the kicker. 84% of the money is coming in on the Bengals. So that means the average Joes and the Sharps are betting. The average Joes are betting on the Dolphins, and some average Joes are betting on the Sharps as well. Are betting on the Bengals as well. But the Sharps are strictly betting on the Bengals. Every Sharp out there is betting on the Bengals for 84% of the money to be coming in on the Bengals. Because you would think about it. If both teams are getting 50% of the bets, why would 84% of the money come in on the Bengals? Because the big money is coming in on the Bengals. The people that are betting 10, 15, 20, maybe $100 are betting on the Dolphins. Some of those are betting on the Bengals too, but they're betting on the Dolphins. That's why the money's not coming in on the Dolphins. The big bettors are betting on the Bengals. That's a plus 34% difference when you look at the difference between the bets coming in and the money coming in. So that is a key example of the Sharps being all over one side of this game. And I'm telling you right now, if you like the Bengals, take the Bengals now, because by kickoff, this line could be as high as 4.5 and maybe even 5. I doubt it gets 5, but it's a possibility with the amount of money that is coming in on the Bengals right now. There is definitely a chance that this line could get to 5 before kickoff tomorrow night. So if you like the Bengals, take them now. If you like the Dolphins, wait, because you'll get a way better line on the Dolphins right before kickoff. So wait on that. So again, 50% of the bets coming in on the Bengals, 50% coming in on the Dolphins, split down the middle, but 84% of the money is coming in on the Bengals, while only 16% of the money is coming in on the Dolphins. That is a plus 34% difference. Massive, massive showing here of the Sharps betting all over the Bengals, because I guarantee you what they're thinking is what I just told you. The Dolphins are exhausted. The Dolphins just got a massive division win against the Bills. Tua's hurt. Can they really get up for this type of game on a quick turnaround at home in Cincinnati? I like my odds on the Bengals, but I like them at 4. I really liked them at 3. Now when you're getting to 4, 4.5, 5, that's when things get tricky. Get that bet in as soon as possible. Let's move on here to, I think, maybe the biggest game of the week, and it's crazy that it's at 1 o'clock. I mean, come on, NFL. The Bills and the Ravens. That's got to be a primetime game, right? Or at least the 4:25 window, instead of having Brian Hoyer versus Aaron Rodgers. But I digress. So for the Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens here, the line right now, this game is at Baltimore, and Baltimore is a 3-point underdog. Very rare for us to see a team like Baltimore with a quarterback like Lamar, which, by the way, if you like Lamar for MVP, you can still get that at plus 500. That's a steal at this point for the way that he is playing. I would hop all over that. I already did. I actually took him before the season started, so I got a great line on that. But I would take him again at plus 500 because he is phenomenal. Baltimore is a 3-point underdog to the Bills here. So Vegas and the line and the bookmakers clearly respect the Bills a lot. To make them a 3-point favorite in Baltimore, this is no slouch team. This is Baltimore here. That's got to tell you something about Buffalo. But 53% of the bets are on Baltimore, and 85% of the money is on Baltimore. So this is even more than what we saw with Cincinnati. Remember, with Cincinnati, we saw 84% of the money on Cincinnati. Here we have 85% of the money on Baltimore. The way I break this game down is I do give Baltimore the advantage strictly because they're at home. What worries me, though, about Baltimore is their secondary is atrocious right now. Actually, their defense as a whole is atrocious. Josh Allen should have a monster day in period, obviously in fantasy for those that love fantasy out there, but DFS, everything. Josh Allen should have a huge day against what we're seeing, a very bad Baltimore defense, which is rare for the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, look at what the Patriots did against Baltimore. Yeah, Mac Jones had some turnovers and all that stuff. I think it was a 26-20 game in the fourth quarter. The Patriots were scoring at will against the Baltimore Ravens defense. And we look at the Patriots as one of the worst offenses in the league. I mean, we don't know who's calling the plays. We know that they don't have a traditional offensive coordinator. They've got a lot of issues on that Patriots staff offensively, and they scored at will on the Baltimore Ravens. What does that tell you? What does that mean the Bills are going to be able to do when they come into town? But on the flip side of it, the Buffalo Bills are very banged up in the secondary as well. And so far, it's looking like nobody is going to be able to contain Lamar Jackson. So I personally am not going to bet on this game because I think it is just way too close of a game. I think it's a field goal game. I think it's a coin flip game. I think if anything, I would bet on the over in this game because of how electric both of these offenses are. That's just my opinion on this. But if you want to know what the sharps are doing, 85% of the money is on Baltimore right now. I think a good chunk of that has to do just because Baltimore is home. And whenever you can get a 3-point underdog to a home team that's as good as Baltimore is, you're going to see a lot of people bounce on that bet. A lot of people. Underdogs are the way to go in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. You always want to try and bet on the underdogs. It's the NFL. There's parity. Crazy things happen. You're not going to win big by betting big favorites. You're not. So when people see a team like Baltimore getting 3 points at home, it doesn't shock me at all that 85% of the money is on the Baltimore Ravens. Again, my personal advice, this is too close of a game. With Buffalo losing last week, if they won last week, I would have been all over the Ravens this week. I would have been all over the Ravens. The fact that Buffalo lost, and they lost in such terrible fashion, they should have won the game. The game script was crazy. I've never seen a game script like that before. They dominated every stat, time of possession, points per play, yards per play, you name it. They dominated it, yet they lost the game. And because of that, you're going to see an angry Buffalo team, but you also have a really good Ravens team, especially a really good quarterback right now in Lamar Jackson. I'm staying off of it, but the whole point is to give you guys an idea of where the money's coming in. Baltimore is getting 85% of the money in this one as we head into a 1 o'clock CBS game between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. Another big disparity play so far is the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. This one is another one that I would not touch, but listen, again, I told you guys, the sharps love betting underdogs. They don't make a living betting big favorites. So does it surprise me that 62% of the money is coming in on the New England Patriots? Not at all. And I really wanted to point out this game to you guys because this is a great example of the pros versus the Joes. And what that means is the sharps versus just the regular bettors, the everyday bettors, like I said, the $10, $20, $30 bettors. 65% of the bets are coming in on Green Bay. Most of what that means is the majority of people out there are betting on Green Bay, obviously. 65% of the bets are coming in on Green Bay. 35% of the bets are coming in on New England. So majority of the people are betting on Green Bay. So how does that make 62% of the money coming in on New England? Well, I'll tell you how. The 35% that's betting on New England, those are sharps. Those are big money bettors. Those are the big time bettors. And I'm not telling you that you should always follow the sharps, because sharps are wrong at times, but majority of the time they're right. Not all the time. Okay. You can bet against the sharps and win occasionally and a decent amount. But majority of the time you want to be on at least the line movement that you're seeing from the sharps. And the sharps, if there's only 35% of the people betting on the Patriots, yet 62% of the money is going on the Patriots, that tells us that the sharps are all over New England in this one at a plus 10 underdog in Green Bay with Brian Hoyer under center. That's going to be a worrisome bet. You're going to have to hold your nose on that and just pray that this defense can make things right. But one thing that we know about New England and Bill Belichick, he has made a living on being able to suffocate top tier offenses. And I know this Packers offense isn't top tier yet, but they've got a top tier quarterback. He's made a living of being able to stop them and run the ball and keep the game close. Might not win the game, but he's made a living being able to keep these types of games close. And with Green Bay not having any big time record breaker on offense like a Devontae Adams that he has to put a lot of attention to, he'll be able to shut down these young rookie wide receivers. He'll make sure he shuts down Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. And I think that he'll be able to keep this game close. I don't think they will win it, but if I had to pick a side on this, I would be with the sharps, and I would take New England plus 10. One more time for you guys. 425 game on CBS. New England is only getting 35% of the bets, yet they're getting 62% of the money. Big plus 27% difference there for the New England Patriots. If you look at another one here, we've got Kansas City and Tampa Bay, the Sunday night game. We don't know where this game's going to be played yet. It might get moved to the Midwest in a neutral site game. Prayers out to everybody that's going to be impacted by this hurricane. We are cheering you on. We are praying for you. I'm in North Carolina, so I'm just going to get the rain effects of it, but we are praying for you guys. We hope you are all okay. And that is something to watch out for this weekend when it comes to betting. You're going to see a lot of totals get ticked down because of weather, especially in college football for all you college bettors out there. So watch out, all right? Is it an overreaction? Is it an underreaction? Those are things you need to watch out for. But in terms of this game, the Kansas City Chiefs are getting 87% of the money, but they're also getting 69% of the bets. What that means is both the sharps and the pros are all over the Kansas City Chiefs on this one. No one's betting the Tampa Bay Bucks. The line is now at Chiefs minus 1.5. Nobody is betting the Bucks on this one. It's 69% of the bets, 87% of the money, 87% of the money coming in on Kansas City. That tells me that the sharps and the Joes are both betting on the Chiefs on this one, which is sometimes a little worrisome. I don't usually like when both sides are together, but this one has Kansas City getting everything, bets and money at minus 1.5 on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Okay, here's another one that we have. There's a big difference between the Joes and the Sharps. Los Angeles Rams plus 1.5 at the San Francisco 49ers. This is a Monday night game on ESPN. The Rams are getting 66% of the bets, yet the 49ers are getting 59% of the money coming in. Okay, so that right there is another, you should know right now, that's another where the Sharps are all over the 49ers and the Joes are all over the Rams. I mean, think about it. It makes sense. The Rams, Super Bowl champions, they're coming off a big win against Arizona. They're only getting 1.5 points against a team in the 49ers that couldn't score a single point pretty much on Sunday Night Football. That's how the average bettor thinks. That's how you have to think about it, okay? I'm not saying that these average bettors don't know what they're doing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just trying to tell you how it kind of goes from the book's mindset. Okay. Everybody looks at San Francisco and goes, my goodness, that offense is atrocious. They couldn't move the ball. Jimmy G is Jimmy G again. And we're the Rams with Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson and Cam Akers and that vaunted defense are only getting 1.5 points. Yeah, let me get the Rams all day of the week. But the Sharps are saying, no. 59% of the money is coming in on the San Francisco 49ers. Yet only 34% of the people are betting on the 49ers, but 59% of the money is coming in on the 49ers. The Sharps are saying you're never as worse as your worst game, and you're never as best as your best game. They don't care about what happened on Sunday. Yeah, the 49ers look bad. They don't care. What they care about is, has Kyle Shanahan played the Rams really well in his career? Yes, they have. Have the 49ers beaten up on the Rams in this rivalry most of the time? Yes, they have. Is Jimmy G going to look better after he gets another week of practice under his belt? Yes, he will. Are the 49ers at home? Yes, they are. 59% of the money coming in on the San Francisco 49ers at -1.5 at this point for a Monday night game. So you still have some time on that one, but it will be interesting to see how things keep going from here. Okay, here's another one that we have. The Cleveland Browns are 1.5 point favorites at the Atlanta Falcons. This one's fascinating because this line opened up at -3 for the Cleveland Browns. So -3, now it's all the way down to -1.5. Instantly, what should that tell you? The Sharps are all over the Falcons. They bet the line down 1.5 points. That's a lot of points there. The Sharps bet the line down from -3 all the way to -1.5. Falcons are the home underdog on this one. The Falcons are getting 65% of the money, yet the Browns are getting 50% of the bets. So it looks like 50-50 bets are coming in, yet the big money, 65% coming on the Atlanta Falcons as the home underdog in this one. Again, the line started at +3 to the Falcons. It's now all the way down to +1.5. This could even get to +1 with the way the money is coming in on this one. That's a really interesting game to follow. I would also look at the total on this one. Crazy stat, something that none of us would have thought before the season started. The Cleveland Browns and the Atlanta Falcons are the only teams to score 26 or more points in each of their game this season. Jacoby Brissett and Marcus Mariota are putting up points for the Browns and the Falcons, and they're doing it at a pretty remarkable rate as well. I think this could be a high-scoring game. Watch for Myles Garrett's status. Is he going to play? Is he not? I know it looks like things are going well for him after that car accident, but that's something to follow. Right now, the Sharps like what they're seeing from the Falcons, plus 65% of the money coming in on the Falcons, which has moved the line from +3 to +1.5. One more for you guys, and we'll get out of here on this one. This one is a wild one. And this one, I want to bring this up because this really shows just how the Sharps think, okay? The Las Vegas Raiders, who are 0-3, 0-3, ladies and gentlemen, are getting 79% of the money against the Denver Broncos, who are 2-1. An 0-3 football team is getting 79% of the money against a Denver Broncos team, which is 2-1. This is how the Sharps are thinking. The Broncos offense looks terrible. Nathaniel Hackett doesn't know what he's doing. Russell Wilson looks a little bit old. He's not running the ball anymore. The defense is great, but are the Raiders, who are at home, going to finally be able to get a win? This tells you everything. Whenever you see a team that is 0-3 as the favorite, which the Raiders are 2.5 point favorites, that right away should tell you something's up. Not only do the Sharps like the Raiders, but Vegas likes the Raiders as well. The bookmakers like the Raiders as well, as 79% of the money is coming in on the Raiders, and the Joes like the Raiders as well, as 68% of the bets are coming in on the Las Vegas Raiders. So this is another example where the Sharps and the Joes are aligned and they are together betting on this one, as the Las Vegas Raiders are getting 68% of the money and 79%, or excuse me, 68% of the bets and 79% of the money, as we have another 425 on CBS Sunday game between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Maybe the Raiders and Josh McDaniels will get off the snide and get their first win of the season. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you do, I'll keep doing it. Again, I know it's a lot of numbers and it can get a little icky there, but I'm telling you, this stuff is important. It can really help you win long term if you follow the money. If you follow the money and where it's going based off the percentage of bets that's coming in, you follow the line movement and all that stuff, it's a really big deal. It's like I said, it's the game within the game. And if you can follow that type of stuff, it will show you kind of how to think as a pro gambler, how the pro gamblers are thinking, why they're thinking this way, why they're betting on this certain team. And I'll tell you, sometimes they like the ugly bets. You'll notice that. They like betting on an ugly team. They like betting on a team that hasn't got a win yet, as we see what we just talked about with the Raiders. They like betting on a Falcons team that is decent but not great. They'll bet on these type of teams, right? Because that's how the NFL works in a lot of cases here. So once again, my name is Kayvon Ezami. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate Fighting Chance Fantasy for giving me this platform and talk about this fun stuff. Right now, I will be doing later on giving my picks out for week 4, but I can tell you the games that I've already bet. I took Cincinnati -3. Again, that is up to -4 already. If you like Cincinnati, take them now. Take them now because it will change as it goes. I took Cincinnati -3. That's my favorite bet and my only bet so far. Some games that I have circled, I'm looking at the Raiders as well. I'm looking at the Falcons as well. I'm looking at the over on the Baltimore and Buffalo game. I haven't done any of those bets yet. I will do a show when it comes time before Sunday of the games that I'm looking at. But remember, sharps all over the New England Patriots, all over the Cincinnati Bengals, all over the San Francisco 49ers, all over the Atlanta Falcons, and all over the Las Vegas Raiders so far. If we see some more big line movement, we will bring it to you as we go. But that is where we are at so far. My name is Kayvon Ezami. Thank you so much for tuning in, as this was the NFL Week 4 line movement show, and I hope you enjoyed it.